What's up, everybody? It's your friendly neighborhood creative collector with you. Today we're doing the Cosmic Ghost Rider video. I've been working on this guy for quite some time and I'm happy to say it's finally finished and I could not be more pleased with it. But enough of that, let's get into it. So unfortunately my phone decided to act a little crazy on me and I dropped a lot of footage off of my phone in the build process. But I'm going to walk through with you what I did on it. But here we go on it. All right, everyone, so this is the Cosmic Ghost Rider from Wicked Art. It stands probably from bottom of base to the tip of the skull flame here about 15 inches or so. And from the from the back of the flame here to the top of the wheel sphere is about 27.5 inches as well. Very big piece. It's a 1/6 scale. So it is printed at 100% to what Wicked puts out. It wasn't scaled up or down any percentage or anything like that. And I used the Anycubic Photon Mono X strictly for this. It was in certain pieces. The base was in a few sections. The bike, of course, a few sections. And I basically just printed those out and welded them together with resin. I glued them together, plus I cleaned up the seams with them with resin. The sphere is created in a translucent blue. I did this in halves. The only bad thing is you can see the seam in here, but I wanted to hollow it out to able to put LEDs in there. There are 50 miniature LEDs in there, kind of brightening it up like a little bit. I'll go over how I did that. But it's a very, very simple process. I plan on doing this with a couple more models later on down the road. So the base is really cool. Got skulls here on here. I could have made those like some type of dynamic color or whatever, but I kind of wanted to go the old school way of doing the skulls. I will put out a video later on about doing skulls, simply because that's how I started out doing minis and with skulls and dragons and stuff like that. So it's kind of taken me back to my roots a little bit. As far as the flames, I did the video on how to do quick flames, and I did that on the head as well as the fire chain. Now for this part right here, I kind of took myself back. I used the airbrush. I used a method I hadn't used in years, back from airbrushing flames on gas tanks of motorcycles and car fenders. Pretty much how I started, learning the airbrush. So that was fun. And maybe later on down the line, I'll do a tutorial on that as well. Then the pipes were just painted a silver. The pipes come off separate, as well as the guns. The guns are a separate piece as well, and this engine part right here was all a separate piece, so it fit together all well. And the fire, of course, was a separate piece from there as well. I wanted to put a little bit of a white hot type fix on there, but I never did. I think it turned out pretty well just the way it is. The chain is a few sections, went together really nicely. I did paint it solid, simply because I just wanted a good solid piece on it. You can hollow it out if you want to, but I always found that pieces this small tend to get resin trapped inside. They don't always get hollowed out, and they wind up leaking resin. So that's one reason why I printed it a solid piece. But was painted in a gray metallic base. I did electric blue accents on there. It would have been really nice to get some type of fluorescent blue to match this right here, so it would stand out, and paint it some type of glow-in-the-dark material. These are things that I think about after I get the piece done. But other than that, this is it, guys. I'll do some close-up shots with you. Unfortunately, I lost a lot of the footage. Somehow or another got deleted out of my phone on the actual build of the figure and part of the cycle. But I kind of went over what I did with the figure and with the cycle. There's nothing spectacular about it. It's just a matter of doing clean lines, a little bit of airbrushing. You can do a lot of this stuff in your pastels if you wish to. Putting it together and having fun with it. That was the main thing. There's different color variations that you can do. I think I've actually seen somebody to do the whole thing with the blue fire, which was really cool looking. But instead of just the regular red and orange and yellow fire, they did it in a blue, and it looks really sharp. So you can do it in all colors. There's really no right or wrong in doing these things. These statues, it's just a matter of having fun with it, and encouraging yourself to do better, you know, progressing each time that you paint these things. Don't ever let anybody think that or try to discourage you from the paint job that you do. By all means, stay encouraged, keep posting that work, and definitely go check out Wicked's Patreon page. They have 3, one for DC, one for Marvel, and one for Star Wars. I'll post the links in the description. Make sure you check them out. For $10 a month, you can get these designs here. They release one, usually 2 or 3 every single month, and you can print these out and you know, print one and paint one for yourself for your collection. Scale it up or down. They do pre-supported files as well. So I want to thank those guys for sponsoring the video and being really super guys. So quick reference on the front wheel. I'll just briefly go over kind of how I did it. It's very, very simple. So this was too big to fit on the build plate, depending on the scale that you do. And I wanted to print it in halves anyway, because what I wanted to fit LEDs in here. And basically this is the control right here. So this will actually sit behind the model. It does have a few functions on it, so you can press it and get any kind of different effect you want, which is pretty neat. So I picked the lights up at like Walmart, and you can find them at Michael's or whatever for like $3.99, $4.99. There's 50 miniature LEDs on this thing. So what I basically did was I printed the wheel in 2 halves, and in G2 box, I actually put a big 70mm hole on each side. That way, when I drilled from the bottom, all I had to do was just to slide the LEDs up inside of it, and it would actually go to the other side and wrap around it. I did nothing but just press them up in there. No orderly fashion or anything like that of the sort. And then, and I did that after I glued the 2 halves together. I did it in blue translucent resin, and nothing spectacular there. I just printed it out in the halves. Remember, I did it, the reason I've got such smooth sides and no seams on here, I had to use nothing for the seam, is because I printed it with the supports on each side, not on the flat surface. Remember, I did a video on that shows you how to do that. That way you won't have any seam lines or anything, and this thing fits flush together. There's no filler at all whatsoever. And you can do that on all of your other prints as well. You'll get a good smooth surface when you do that. You'll just have to take and, you know, fix the supports where they used to be on the side. Just a little bit of sanding. I didn't have very much on this one at all, and you can't really tell. So I printed it, I washed it, I cured it, and that is all I did. And then I glued it together, I drilled the hole, I stuffed the LEDs up inside, and here you have it. Thanks everybody for watching the video. I do appreciate it. I got a lot of good videos coming out pretty soon, and I would love to keep you coming back for more. The only way that we can grow our channel is from support from people like yourself. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. That way you don't miss out on any future videos. Until the next video, everyone, appreciate it. Stay safe. Peace out. See ya.